In this episode, we're heading to Raven Rock State Park in Lillington, North Carolina. This will be part one of a series on the park. In this video, we get settled in our campsite and cook supper on the Black Stone. We also start exploring the park.
So much for the clean truck. That dirt road done us in.
It did. After we found out we came the wrong way.
Yeah, look at that. Everything's dusty.
We have some exciting news. We're launching our Patreon page in the next few weeks, and we would be grateful if you joined us. We will keep you updated on the progress on the Ox and the Fox Facebook page.
We're all set up and ready to camp. Tonight, I think we're gonna cook some sausage and vegetables and some tortellini, which is one of our, usually our camp go-to on the Black Stone. What are you doing?
Vacuum?
In case you're wondering, which I'm sure Trent has probably already told you by now, but we're at Raven Rock State Park in North Carolina. All right, tonight is our first night at Raven Rock State Park. And typically Trina does a little cooking episode for you, but tonight I'm gonna show you what our typical first night camp and cook would look like. But I'm gonna do the cooking. So tonight we're gonna be cooking what we call campsite sausage. Just your standard Hillshire Farm polka kielbasa sausage. We're gonna cut it up, cook it on the Black Stone. We use a different type of sausage too sometimes, but they didn't have any when we went to the grocery store this evening. You'll need onion, a couple of zucchinis, pre-cut up mushrooms only because it's easier, and bell peppers. And now, unlike Trina, I'm not gonna have a detailed recipe. It's just however I feel, whatever I feel it needs when I throw it on the Black Stone. First, we got to cut up our bell peppers and our zucchini. It doesn't really matter what color bell peppers you use. And if you don't want to use bell peppers, you want to use a different kind of pepper, jalapeno pepper, whatever you like, feel free to do so. I think it normally takes the peppers and the zucchini the longest to cook, so I usually put those on first and get those cooking. Just take a couple of squares of butter and throw them right on the griddle. Just let those start frying down. while we're cutting up the others. I'll try to cut them up a little smaller just to make sure they cook. It doesn't take that long to cook them if they're smaller. All right, I've got all my zucchini cut up. And we're gonna put it on with the others. You may want to put your zucchini on first before your bell peppers. If you hadn't got it already cut up, the zucchini will usually take a little longer to cook than some of the other ingredients. So we're just gonna let that cook in some butter. I've also got a lid that I'll put over it to try to steam them, maybe to speed up the process once I get the onions cut up. All right, while I've got the zucchini steaming, my vegetables steaming up under my lid here, I'm gonna cut up my onion and probably go ahead and throw our mushrooms onto the griddle. So on the side that my vegetables are cooking on, I've got it on high right now, steaming up under that lid. And then I've got this burner on this side on low just to start cooking my mushrooms a little bit while we're cutting up our onions. All right, once you got your onion peeled, we're gonna cut it up into strips, longer strips. So usually I just cut the onion in half and then just cut it like this. If you like smaller onions, you may want to cut yours up finer. Typically for this recipe, we like to have a little bit of onion left. So we're gonna throw those right on with the mushrooms and let those cook down a little bit. I may go ahead and turn it up to higher heat. All right, we've got our onions on. Put a little butter to it. And just stir them around like stir fry. We're gonna cook these zucchini down to a soft, tender consistency. It's just how we like our zucchini. All depends on how you like it, how done you want it. I'm not a professional chef, as you can see. And once I get these onions cooked down a little bit and the mushrooms to where I want them, I'll mix them all in with the zucchini. What hasn't already mixed to begin with. All right, typically for this recipe, we use any kind of smoked sausage. This particular one, we're gonna use the Polska kielbasa sausage. It's good with any kind of smoked sausage, really. And normally we also do a tortellini. It's like a bag of tortellini. I put it right on the griddle and I put the lid over it just to steam it with with its ingredients in it that comes in the bag. We've got so many vegetables in this one, we're not gonna do that tonight. So we're gonna omit the tortellini. It's gonna be sausage and vegetables because we have a lot. But we're gonna cut our sausage up, and that's usually the last thing that I do is the sausage, because smoked sausage is, well, it's already smoked, so it's not gonna take long. We're just gonna be heating it up and giving it a good brown texture to it. I cut them right into small circles, and we'll throw them right on the griddle wherever we can find room. All right, I'm gonna stir some of this up. It's starting to look just right. I may go ahead and get the sausage on there. And typically I'll salt and pepper it to taste. And I've actually got over here my little kit, a little salt and pepper shaker. It's a Black Stone kit. It comes with the actual little rubber silicone mat and a carrying case and the two knives. The knife I've been using is also a Black Stone knife. come in a kit. Actually, my daughter got it for me for, I think it was Christmas one year. I like it. Keep it outside, roll it up, put it in its little carrying case, put it away. It stays there all the time. The only thing I would say downfall with this is once you put it in that little carrying case, when you go to pop it out, it comes loose every time. And I pour salt and pepper out as I'm getting prepared to cook. So we're gonna salt and pepper it to taste. Make sure, I like to check it first. Make sure it's coming out or not clumpy. Because you never know when you're camping what's gonna happen to your salt and pepper shaker. At this point, the griddle should be pretty well oiled. And we'll throw the sausage here on the spare side of the griddle. They're done, and mix them all in together. So I'm gonna guess and say the vegetables are done. I say yes. Yes on the vegetables being done. Oh, it's looking real good. Our ratio vegetables to sausage though is, I think we got way more vegetables than we do sausage. And Trina would have been cooking this, or would have been cutting the vegetables up for me. She would have proportionalized it out real nice. I'm not that, like I said in the beginning, I don't really have a recipe I go by. No certain amount, I just throw it on there. We'll eat it however it turns out. But I think it's gonna be real good. And really, I think we're done. Bon appetit. I'm gonna set them here. We can fix our plates out of these. All right, we're at Raven Rock State Park. We just rode our motorcycles over from the campground to the visitor center. Raven Rock is full of hiking trails, and of course the main trail heading out to Raven Rock, which overlooks the Cape Fear River.
But first, I gotta go get my book stamped. Let's go. Thank you. You know I have to hold them back.
Mm-hmm. Where you headed?
We're gonna drive the motorcycles back down to another parking lot to get on the Raven Rock Loop Trail.
All right, the parking lot is pretty well empty this morning, minus about 4 of the cars. I think that's our neighbor at the campground, that black van. But we're gonna take a hike down Raven Rock Loop Trail. Now, just because this parking lot is empty this morning doesn't mean it doesn't fill up pretty quick. There were multiple signs as we come in, letting you know if the parking lot was full, you could not park on the grass. Also, if the parking lot was full, they closed the gate and you have to wait. And sometimes the signs would give you listed wait times. But however, there was no wait time this morning. Obviously, nobody's here yet. This is in March. I'm pretty sure some of the more warmer months, it may fill up a whole lot quicker. And we'll see this afternoon when we get back how full the parking lot is. So we're going to do Raven Rock Loop Trail. It's a 2.1 mile loop trail. Raven Rock is a mile, the Overlook's about 1.3. If you are staying in the campground, it's only a half a mile through there. We chose not to do that additional half a mile just because we rode the bikes over. So The only people we've seen on this trail so far has been 2 ladies. We let them pass and I hadn't seen them since. So right now it's pretty peaceful and quiet out here. Nothing but the birds and some squirrels.
Yeah, I was telling Justin a while ago, my expectations, some of the trails we have been on, I had high expectations and it wound up being like snaky, small, narrow trails. But this trail's okay. I like it. Listen to the birds. They're singing this morning.
Right there. So just off the trail, we've been hiking right beside a stream, and it's just peaceful. While we're hiking, the birds singing and the sound of that trickling water coming down the side of the hill. I'm not sure the camera is really going to do it justice, but I am thoroughly impressed with Raven Rock so far, and we hadn't even made it to the rock or to the river. Reminds me a lot of the mountains, and we're in the very first part of the Piedmont of North Carolina. Look where we just came from. There are quite a bit of stairs or steps coming down the trail to get to this point. But I think once you get right here, you can actually see the river, and we're fixing to go down a lot of stairs, actual stairs going down the side of the cliff down to the bottom of Raven Rock. So here's the stairs we just come down. And I don't even think you can see all the way to the top.
Little trees by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Okay.
So it looks like that could potentially be a big waterfall if there was enough rain that came down on it. Right now it's just a little trickle.
And what, run right through there?
Yeah, come down the rock, run through there. Speaking of which,
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
I gotta pick this trash up.
End of the trail. This is the end of the trail at the bottom of the base of Raven Rock. How far would you say it is, Trina, from where we come down the stairs to here? 1/10 of a mile?
Yeah, not far. I mean, it's like cliffs all the way down. We hadn't even been on the other side. The Cape Fear River is actually famous in a sense. So there's a 1991 movie called Cape Fear. It stars Juliette Lewis, Robert De Niro, and Jessica Lange. It's an excellent, excellent movie. And the majority of it is filmed on the Cape Fear River. If you get a chance, check that movie out. So once you come down the stairs, you can go to the left or you can go to the right. We've already been to the left, which is the majority of Raven Rock. And it looks like the right just ends right here. So we're gonna walk down and check that out.
I do believe we're at the end of the trail.
Yeah. Says so. End of trail. Recyclable. Alright, which way are you going? To the Overlook?
To the Overlook. 1/2 a mile. And then 3/4 of a mile back to the parking lot from that point.
Where you been? I've been waiting for you.
I went down to the actual trail.
I've been waiting a while.
This view is pretty good to not be in the mountains,
Yeah.
on the banks of a river.
Yeah. Hey!
Hey!
What y'all doing?
We're camp hosting.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Be sure to join us next week as we show you more of what Raven Rock State Park has to offer and more of us cooking our favorite camping meals. And as always, thanks for watching.